All gang, big news, man. We getting listed on another exchange, and this is huge in my personal opinion, making called Crow and Knife open to a lot of more users, a lot of more people, because the more exchanges you get listed on, you never know who's actually using these exchanges. It might be people who wasn't aware of that said crypto asset. And with this being said, man, Crow with Knife is primed, and a lot of things going on in the macro environment. We see, the crypto project is getting put out. So many bullish narratives going on right now. And I do think we see a huge rise. Now, if we look back in time, we know usually the bull market ends around, the later weeks in October, maybe the couple first weeks in November. We possibly could go into 2026 with this bull market because it's so much macro environment things happen. But just going back into time, we see that November is usually the month where you kind of, sell and go away for a couple months until prices dip and you can get back in a better entry. But I do think this time might be different. Only time will tell. But we have yet to really see these altcoins and these meme coins do what they did in previous cycles. Yes, it's been some projects that's been outliers, but we haven't had that euphoric feeling. Now, could this be different? It possibly could be. I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, I remain optimistic because when we take a step back and look at it, this crypto space is more so for the long term, man. Crypto assets are going to only continue to increase in value. So even when people are just so short thinking, just trying to trade these cycles or whatnot, just being in projects and dollar cost averaging into good projects is one of the best things you can do in the crypto space. And Crow with Knife is one of those projects because it has a core like community. It has, over five figures or 5 digits worth of holders. It has all the things it needs in order to become $1 billion meme coin on the Chronos blockchain. And I know people saying, Tro, $1 billion meme coin, why do you say that? Because we have yet to see $1 billion meme coin on Chronos. And I do think Chronos is a sleeper blockchain. I do think that we get, that like last go round when Chronos was one of the last blockchains to really take off. And that was because it did come out, later in the cycle. It did literally at the end of the cycle, the blockchain kind of came out. So of course it was going to be, one of the ones to pump. But I also think that people are going to start rotating from these bigger chains and trying to find opportunities on smaller chains, especially if they haven't taken off yet. And that is why Crow and Knife is so perfect right now. But let's take a look, man. Let's look at it, where we at with price today and the analytics. So, man, we can see right now, currently we are on Dex Screener looking at Crow and Knife. It's currently the fifth hottest project on the Chronos blockchain. Now, currently we had a $16.7 million market cap. We are down 1% in the past 24 hours. It is currently more buys than sales. It's slightly more buy volume and it is more buyers. So this is looking like a buyer's market at this moment in time. Now, we almost are at that 13,000 holder count. We at 12.9K, and that's just on Chronos. If we go across, the other blockchains that we're on, I'm pretty sure it's over 20,000 holders. And like I said, at a $16 million market cap, easy going back up to 100 million plus in my personal opinion, just because when we first came out, it really wasn't listed on all of these different centralized exchanges that we currently have now. We know that we're listed on Chronos. We get listed on multiple other exchanges as well. And then, once it continues to grow, I do think we get even bigger exchange listings down the future, or in the future rather. And if we scroll down, we still see is no issues with the Go Plus security. So that's always a good thing. So many bullish narratives going on for just the crypto space in general. And that's why I'm not, giving up my hopium. I know a lot of people say, Tro, you just be talking, bro. It's over, man. It's over for crypto for this cycle. Get ready to sell and everything. And I'm just here to tell you, man, if my bags don't take off in November, I'm not selling. I would just rather, sit on my hands, continue to dollar cost average into good projects. And that's not my fight. That's not financial advice whatsoever. That's just me, telling you what I would plan on, what I'm planning on doing. That's what I did. And I did last cycle. And that's how I made profits last cycle, because I continued to dollar cost average in 2022 when everything was going down. 2023, I was buying, all these cheaply discounted coins, and now we in profit. So, and if I open up new positions, I won't close them until I am in profit, because I am thinking about the long term. Now, that's not for every project, guys. I'm just speaking more specifically for Crow with Knife. I do think it's a multi-cycle project. I do think the community is going to be around for quite a while, especially as Chronos continues to go. But it is some coins that, you got to cut your losses with. I will say that. Some coins you must cut your losses with. But at the same time, if a coin has a great community, the community is vibrant, they're always jumping into Discord, excited about, anything that's related to their project, then you want to kind of, keep your head down, just dollar cost average if you can. And if you can't, just sit on your hands and wait till it appreciates. But I will encourage users and people to, dollar cost average, especially if these bags go down, 50+%, and it's a good asset. That's the key word. Good asset, because a lot of these projects are not good assets, and they don't have a community, and they don't have anything that's keeping the price afloat. But Crow with Knife does. Now let's get into some of the good stuff, man. Kyle, what it do? They said our DMs are overflowing with KOLs asking for promo. Let me remind everyone, Crow with Knife has never paid for shilling and never will. 100% organic by design, and we'll keep it that way. We build, we call, we stab, we meme, repeat. Thank you, Crow with Knife. Hey, shout out to Call Game, man. Like, they not giving in on none of that. We not paying nobody to promote the project. If you in, you in. If you like the community, you join the community and just buy it, man. Nobody not trying to give away free tokens so you can dump on the community. That's crazy. But some people will do it. Also, like I said, big news, BTCC Exchange now is listing called Crow and Knife. Spot trading available this Friday. Learn more about this meme. So they will be having, an AMA coming up. So you can drop the questions, come in with a question for the call team by August 6th to win $15 in USDT. And, they're going to have an AMA where you can ask Crow with Knife team anything. So we love to see that. We love to see the transparency with Crow and Knife, how we continue to build, how we continue to get listed on other exchanges, how the holder count continues to increase. Even though if we look at the Chronos blockchain, it's only $9 million in the past 24 hours as far as volume goes. So Chronos is a smaller blockchain compared to the likes of, Ethereum, Solana, Base, Binance, of course. Those are in the billions. And right now, Chronos is barely touching 10 million 24-hour volume. But that's not to say in the future we can't get some high volume days, because I do think that Chronos will have its day in the sun, man. Just because they make it so easy to onboard directly from the Crypto.com app. And that's why I'm bullish on the Chronos ecosystem, and more specifically Crow and Knife right now at these prices. And even if we don't take off by November, guys, I said this and I will continue to say this, CAL is a multi-cycle meme coin. You got to understand, some of these meme coins have been around for a while. Yes, on the bigger blockchains, they take out faster because it's more volume that's being churned on those blockchains. But when you invest in meme coins on smaller blockchains, it takes a slow cook. But the beautiful thing about it, you kind of know the winners. Like you on Chronos, you kind of can project what's going to win, because these projects are always in the top as far as volume goes. Always as far as holder count goes, they continue to increase. So these are the projects that you want to look into, just in case one day, and I will say that it will happen, one day if Chrono takes off, you have already been dollar cost averaging, and the new people who come in are pretty much buying your bag. So Crypto Tro, that's my video. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, man. I'm out of here.